All right, I'm here with Stephanie Ochs and Tiffany McCarty of the Houston Dash, fresh off a nice 2-2 tie at Kansas City last Sunday. Tell me how that feels, Tiff, to get that your first goal for the Dash and the goal that ties the game pretty late.
Yeah, it's kind of a pretty back and forth game, and when I got on, I just was trying to make a difference, and when the ball came, I just kind of popped up and finished it. Moving on.
No crazy celebration plans?
No, not at all.
You just stood there and said that this is why they're paying me the big bucks?
Yeah. Yeah, it was not really.
Because Randy made a comment, I guess, that that point felt almost as important as a World Cup.
Yeah, I mean, that point was pretty important for us since we kind of went through a little bit of a drought. We really needed a point. We needed something to go into this game. So,
what was the reaction from the Kansas City players when that goal was scored, and also when the whistle blew and they knew you've gained a point from them on their home turf?
Yeah, I don't really know what they were doing during the goal, but I can imagine that they were pretty frustrated with how the game went. But I think it was a deserving point from us, so that's kind of how the game goes.
Yeah. Well, Stephanie, you've had a switch of position. We talked to Randy about this earlier, moving from forward to left back. So talk about getting comfortable in that position and what you think you can contribute to the team with that move.
Well, he kind of just approached me at practice one day and was like, "Hey, I'm thinking of putting you at left back. What do you think?" And I was just like, like, he's like, "Have you ever played there before?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't. Like, I've played forward pretty much my whole life." And he was just like, like, I've always thought about doing this ever since the 23s, and kind of just said that, I don't know, I'm the type of player who likes to be faced up and going at people, and I think that's when I'm at my best. Compared to when I have my back to goal. And so with that in mind, I kind of thought it would be an easy transition, but I mean, it's been easy and hard in different ways. Like, it's been easy to get the ball, be faced up, and kind of see the whole field. But it's also been hard to learn the defending parts of it, and like staying at the back line, when to step, when not to, and stuff like that. But I just want to help the team in any way I can, and if that's the best spot, then that's the best spot.
Well, and you're following in the footsteps of some pretty important U.S. national teamers that converted from forward to left back, like Kelvin Harback and Brady Chesney. Yeah. So that's the future that we're looking for.
Yeah, hopefully.
Looking ahead past the Chicago game Friday, but looking ahead to Monday's game, you guys will play the Washington Spirit for the first time this season, and we got both of you from the Washington Spirit. So let's talk a little bit about that club and your experience with that club last season. We know it was a pretty tough season for Washington Spirit, but what were your positive takeaways of that first NWSL season and playing with the Spirit?
I think all of us from that team kind of learned to deal with adversity. Especially coming off a season where you're not winning a lot. I mean, you're there to win, and most of us came from colleges where we were winning, and we weren't, we never went 4 or 5 games without scoring a goal or losing. So I think that transitioning to that level and experiencing that, like, I don't want to ever, kind of go through that again. So I think that was probably the biggest thing that I've learned from that season.
What about you, Stephanie?
I would say the same thing. Like, you, kind of like Tiff said, you never expect to go into a team and to lose a lot or to not be scoring and to have such a hard season, but you just kind of, I don't know, you learn how to stick with your team, and that's kind of what we did. I think we kind of tried to stay together and stay positive as much as we could, and I think from that we just learned how to stay strong, and I think we learned a lot about the game. Like, I know it was like Tiff and I's first year playing, and so I think we just kind of learned a lot about the game and learned what the league was all about, and realized how tough it is to win and to be a good team. So,
who would you say are the most threatening players on the Washington Spirit that you guys are going to have to work to contain next Monday?
Probably say Diane Matheson.
I like Greenberg.
I like Greenberg, yeah. I played with Crystal Dunn for a couple of years, so I know she's pretty dangerous out wide, but I'd probably say that was probably my.
And it's going to feel a little bittersweet to be back at the soccer plex.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm from Maryland, so it's always going to be really fun.
Yeah. So will there be a big McCarty fan section?
I don't know, maybe my dad's been like saying, oh, do you have a lot of tickets? Like, I mean, I don't have like 50 tickets, so you might want to
come on, Dad, buy some tickets. Well, let's talk about your experience in Houston so far. You guys have been here, what, 2.5 months, almost 3 months?
Yeah.
You know, before this, had you spent a lot of time in Texas?
No. My aunt's from, I forgot, somewhere in Texas. And I think she's from Austin, whatever. But she, I've been here for like once, and I visited here for a couple of days, but I haven't been here, and I definitely haven't played in Texas in a long time.
So what have your thoughts been so far? What do you like? What do you not like? And this isn't about the team.
Pretty hot. It's pretty hot here. Actually, Houston is a great city. We went to some of the Rockets games. That was pretty fun. Been to like some like carnival type things, so that was fun too. But it's different hot than Florida for me. So getting there.
Yeah, that's kind of, I guess, swampy hot.
Yeah, it's like
brutal.
It's a little bit humid, but here it's like everything. It's hot, humid. I mean, it's kind of windy sometimes, but that really doesn't help.
And the sun goes down and it doesn't get cooler. Yeah. Well, and Stephanie, you're from Southern California, so this has to be a big switch for you on many levels. So talk about the transition from Southern California girl who spends the season over with, with Washington Spirit, and then now you're in Texas.
It's kind of cool though. It's just different. Like when you go to a new place, you kind of just learn different things, learn how to be in different cities, and like I'm used to being on the coast, so like my go-to is go to the beach. But like when you're in cities like Houston or DC, you kind of find different things to do, and I think Houston so far has been great. I mean, ideally I would like to be on the coast and by an ocean, as close as you can be. But I've also, like Tiff said, we've done a lot of fun stuff here, and I don't know, I think it's great. There's a lot of good restaurants here, I've found.
Favorite restaurants so
far?
A lot of
good eating. I think we're all a fan of Torchy's Tacos.
Yeah, Torchy's is good.
We love Torchy's. Where else have we been? I don't know, we've been to a lot of different restaurants, but every city has its own vibe and its own feel, and I think it's cool to go around and kind of learn about cities that way and get to live in different places. So.
And you got to spend some time in Australia in the off season? Which city were you in?
I was in Canberra.
How was that?
It was good. It was really fun. The city itself is pretty small. It's the capital, but it's like a pretty small city. But we would go to Sydney a lot and kind of hang out there, which is really fun. But just as a whole, it's a great place. The people are a lot of fun too.
Tiffany, what did you do in the off season?
I played in Japan.
What, in Tokyo or?
No, it's a little place called Niigata. It's like a really small town.
Did you pick up any Japanese?
Yeah, I did. Please don't ask me.
Okay, we won't ask you to speak any Japanese. All right. Last part of the interview, I always do this. Do a little bit of trivia. I'm a sucker for trivia, and I really like stumping people. But for you guys, we'll always do something where you should know the answer. Okay. It'll always feed to your background. So for you, Stephanie, it's like name the Dynamo player that went to your alma mater.
Like recently or currently on the team?
Mm-hmm, currently on the team. Unless I'm getting my stats wrong.
No, you're right.
I know Servano's from San Diego.
It's not.
He's not?
No, he's from.
But yeah, he didn't go to your alma mater.
I don't know.
Tally Hall and his wife both went to University of San Diego.
What? See, I had no idea.
All right, learn something.
I've talked to him too.
Okay, Tiffany, yours is a little bit harder,
Okay.
being a native of Northern Virginia, DC, Maryland. Sorry, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Maryland. Which 4 years did DC United win the MLS Cup?
4 years. Sometime in the early 2000s.
Okay. Which year did the Washington Freedom win the WSA championship? Put it on the women's side for you.
1995.
All right, DC won in 96, 97, 99, and 2004.
Okay.
Washington Freedom won in 2003.
I said that, didn't I? I said
You said nah.
I was clearing my throat. And I meant to say 2000.
Maybe you were saying it in Japanese.
I was.
Yeah,
That's what it was, I think.
All right. Well, thank you so much for chatting today. Good luck Friday, and I hope you kick some Washington Spirit ass over the weekend.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you very much.